Hello, once again, I welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Terraform Lifecycle, the ability to provision computing infrastructure, support and manage them using code is known as infrastructure as code, also known in short as IaC. There are different tools that can be used or that have been used in provisioning resources. Tools such as Terraform, Ansible, or even Packer can be used for different purposes of um, IaC. However, each of these tools excel over the other in different um, applications or in different areas. For instance, Terraform is understood to be better at provisioning infrastructure, whereas Ansible is said to excel when it comes to configuration management. Even though Terraform can do very well when it comes to configuration management, but it has fared better when it is used to provision infrastructure. Also, the same thing applicable to Ansible. Ansible can equally provision infrastructure. However, it is best when it is used to manage configurations. Using Terraform, you can spin up or set up computing infrastructure within minutes. But what happened next? That is where the idea of Terraform Lifecycle comes in. So, in the concept of Terraform Lifecycle, we are going to be discussing what happened to these resources after they have been created using Terraform. What happened when you want to manage them? What happened when you apply those commands such as Terraform plan, Terraform apply, or Terraform destroy? How do you prevent these resources from accidental deletion? How do you tell what happened to these resources if a particular action, a particular Terraform action is being taken, is being performed on the code? So we are going to be looking at all of these concepts under Terraform lifecycle. So we're going to jump on the hands-on demonstration where I have prepared uh, some code and resource that we are going to use to demonstrate this concept. And I hope you will enjoy it. Now, let's do it. Now, what is Terraform lifecycle? Now, I said here, Terraform lifecycle is a block or rule that control how Terraform handles resources changes during plan and apply operation. It provides rules for how specific resources could be managed through their life cycle. And this is exactly what I was saying in the previous um, discussion or earlier, where I said that after you have provisioned your resources, let's say, for example, you create an EC2 instance, then what happened to this EC2 instance after certain Terraform action has been um, performed or is being carried out on the code infrastructure? Now, we are going to be discussing the concept of Terraform lifecycle under four topics called meta arguments, or you can just simply call them Terraform Lifecycle arguments. And the very first one is called the create before destroy. And what does this mean? For example, you spin up an EC2 instance and you intend to change the settings of the instance. Let's assume you want to change the instance type from T2 micro to say T2 medium. And in the process, you want a new instance with a different properties to be created. When when you had the create before destroy block, which is also a block of code, if you add it um, to your EC2 code, what will happen is this block will force the Terraform operation to first create the new server before destroy the old one. And this is very important when you want to sustain um, availability. You want your services, or let's say your server, to be always available. So to avoid downtime, you are going to add this block of code known as the create before destroy block or rule. You're going to add it to your code, which will inform Terraform that you need to create a new server before you destroy the old one. And we are going to see this in the hands-on. The next one, which I want us to look at, is called prevent destroy. This is most time used to avoid or to prevent accidental deletion. It is very easy by just running a command to destroy a bunch of infrastructure. By just running the Terraform destroy command, you can destroy hundreds and thousands of infrastructure with a single command. But in order to prevent um, accidentally destroying or deleting certain resources, or to prevent people or another user from accidentally deleting a sensitive resource, you can add a block of code called prevent destroy. If you add this code to your Terraform code, it will inform and enforce Terraform not to be able to destroy the resources. So if you have the prevent destroy code added to your block of code, whenever you run Terraform destroy, um, an error will be thrown up, letting you know that um, this infrastructure has been protected by the prevent destroy rule or block of code. Another one we are going to be looking at is the ignore changes. This is in a case where you have set up your infrastructure such that you have given a permission, or you have allowed for a manual modification of the infrastructure. Let's assume you create an EC2 auto scaling group, but you have allowed, or you have created a permission such that the engineer, the DevOps engineer, or the cloud engineer, or the infrastructure engineer is able to manually change the settings from the, let's say, AWS console. And always want to allow the manual settings to prevail or to work. So if you have the ignore changes block to your code, even when you run the the Terraform apply command, it will not change, it will not override the manually modified settings on the console. You understand that um, Terraform always ensure that infrastructure conform with the um, back with the state file. The state file shows the current status of your, or the current status of your infrastructure. So, and in that case, whenever a Terraform apply is run, Terraform will go and check if the resources that are being provisioned is in sync with the state file. If it is not in sync, it will override whatever it has with what is present in the state file. But whenever you add the ignore changes block to your code, Terraform will not rely on state file for that new change. It will allow the change that have been done manually to overrule the state file. And the last one we are going to be checking is the replace trigger by. That's another block code, and it's only available in Terraform 1.2 version and after. That is where you can use these settings. And these settings, that should be the fourth one. Let me correct it. That should be the fourth. That should be the fourth one. Okay, I don't know why it's not coming here. 4. Okay, so, and what are we saying here? I just try to correct it. I don't know why. Okay, so what happens when you use the replace trigger by? Yeah, it forces, or it allows Terraform to recreate a resources as a result of change in other resources. So it forces a resource to be replaced if another resources changes, as we are going to see. Let's assume you have configured a server with a secure and you allow a port. Let's say you allow a port 80 to run, and you now went ahead and you want to change the port from port 80 to say port 22. If you had the replace triggered by block to your code, if you change the port 80 to port 22, then as a result of that change, Terraform will be forced to create a new resources with the new changes that you have made there. So I have prepared this document, and I'm going to add it to I've attached it to the Git repository that contains our practice codes, and I'm going to attach it to the comments to the comment section, where if you want to go through it and you want to understand better, and if you want to follow the answer. So I'm going to attach it there. You can take your time to go through it, and it's very informative, and I hope you are going to gain one or two things on it. Now let's jump onto our Terraform code to put this into practice or into demonstration. So I'm going to open my this is my VS Code. I have this let me show you. I have this repo. I'm also going to attach it in the link below, in the comment section. You can clone it. So I've gone ahead to clone. I've copied it and I've cloned the repo onto this onto my VS Code terminal, and then I have also CD. I've changed directory into the repository called Terraform Lifecycle, and if I do LL, you can see I have all these files here. I have 4 files. Apart from the README file, which you can also look through, the README file contains detailed explanation, just like I have explained. So I have 4 files or 4 directories. One is created before destroy, that contain the file. We have the ignore, the prevent, and the replace. So I'm going to clear my screen. So, and it should look, these are the files over here. So each of them has the Terraform configuration as we are going to see them. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure that your terminal is authenticated with your AWS console. So you should type AWS configure. If you press enter, it will ask you to provide your access key and secret access key. In my own case, I've already done that, so you must ensure where you are. So if I just type enter, it also shows me that I have my secret access key, and my default region is in US East 1, and I want my output format to be JSON. So, so I'm going to clear the screen again. So the first thing I want to do now is um, I want to demonstrate the create before destroy. So I'm going to I'm going to zoom in for us to see this. Okay, I think you can see it now. So, so I'm going to be creating an EC2 instance in this case, so that we can demonstrate the create before destroy. And then this is my terminal. Okay, and this is the code. Let me bring down the terminal a little bit. Okay, now what we want to do here, let me show you from our, so we are going to, to demonstrate this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. This is the code. I've also made it available in the repo. The first thing is I'm going to create an EC2 instance, and I will go ahead and I will modify the instance type from T2 micro to T2 small. And we are going to see that this, I'm going to add the create before destroy block. I'm going to add it to my code. And you're going to see how Terraform will be forced to first create before destroy it. So let me go now. So I'm going to cd into that, cd into create into it now. And if I do ls, you will see that is the EC2 TF that I have here, EC2.tf, that is the part. So I'll go ahead now and do Terraform init. That is the first thing you want to do, Terraform init. So it's going to initialize. So let me just quickly show you the code. I believe that you have the basic knowledge of Terraform. So we have the provider, which is AWS. That means these resources will be created on AWS console, and the region is US East 1. And I'm going to be using I'm going to be creating an EC2 instance with the AMI. This AMI was copied from the ES console. I'm going to be using, so at first, I'm going to be using T2 micro. I'm going to be using T2 micro instance, and I've added this block, lifecycle block. You can see it from line 10. Create before destroy is equals true, meaning that you are going to create an EC2 called web server, but if I need to destroy it, you must first create a new one before destroy. So now I have my init complete, so I'll just go ahead and run Terraform apply, and I'll just do auto approve because I don't want it for a yes. So I will go ahead. We are going to see this. Just permit me to clear the screen so that you can see it clearly. I will clear the screen and I will do Terraform apply auto approve. Now let us watch and see what it's going to do. So it's going to first so I'm creating the instance for the first time now. So let us see. I'm going to give it a few seconds or maybe minutes to run. So don't forget, it's going to create an EC2 instance call. Okay, so that is done, and it is done in about how many seconds? Just very quickly, and say one added. So it's going now. It's going to create the resources now. So you know that Terraform apply is a combination of Terraform plan and apply. So what it first showed us was the plan and then apply. Now the resources has been applied and it's done in 14 seconds, and one resources has been added. So if we go to our console, let me go to my EC2, my AWS console, and if I click on my EC2, you are going to see that one instance is running, and you can see that instance. I'm going to zoom in. The web server has been created and it's running with T2 micro. So I'm going to go back now with my life cycle hardened as created before destroy. I will change this. I want to change my T2 micro to T2 small, and I'll just go ahead again Let me clear the screen. And I will run Terraform apply again. Now let us see. So because of the block that says create before destroy, you see that a new EC2 instance will first created, and then the destroy um, the destroy command will now be applied um, uh, because the command has been forced to do it. So just watch. You can see it now. It has shown us the changes that will be made. So it's telling us, if you look at it from here, if you look at it, it says from here, you can see it says it's changing the DNS, or look at the one above. It's changing the IP address, the size from T2 micro to T2 small. And what happened, if you look right down here, you can see that the IP address is changing to a new IP address that is not known yet until it is created. So it's going through the modification process. It's modifying the resource, in this case the EC2 instance. And what it's going to do is going to create a new instance first. Then he will now go ahead and destroy. You will see uh, why the process is important. And this is applicable when you need to avoid downtime. You have a server that your client or your user are accessing, and you want to create a new server, or you want to destroy the old one, and you don't want them to have any change. So you can see from here now, you can see that the modification is complete, and what did he do? He said no resources was added, but one changed, and the server was destroyed. So you can see the new IP address of the new machine. So if I go to my EC2 instance now, you can see it was formerly micro. If I refresh now, you can see it's now T2 small. And this is the process of using the um, what do we call it? The create before destroy. Um, before destroy. So that is what I want to show you in this uh, under this concept. So the next thing we are going to do now. So let us clear the screen. I'm going to go into the next one, which is ignore changes. So what happened in the ignore changes? Now let me move into the file of ignore changes. So as ignore changes. So I'm in ignore changes now. I will clear my screen, and for you to see what that look like, I will change to that file. This is the file. And what are we doing here? So I'm still using my AWS provider, and I'm going to be creating um, an EC2 instance called dev server, and the instance type is T2 micro, and the lifecycle is ignore changes. And on which properties am I ignoring the changes? I'm ignoring changes ignoring changes on instant type. And what does it mean is that you are forcing or telling um, Terraform that any changes that is made on the instant type of the infrastructure outside Terraform, please ignore the changes. Don't override it. You understand what I'm saying here? So that is the essence of the ignore changes. So we are going to create, now let's see how we are going to demonstrate that. So what happened here is that under the ignore change, where is it? Um, Wait before destroy. Okay, ignore changes, I think it's below. Okay, under the ignore changes, this is what we are going to do. We are going to create a resource, and we will manually change the instant type on the console, and then we'll now go back to run the Terraform apply. Let us see what happened in that case. So I'm back to my terminal. I have my EC2 instance server called dev server with instant type of T2 micro, and don't forget we have been told to ignore changes with the instant type. So I'll go ahead here and do Terraform init. Don't forget this is a new directory, so I need to run Terraform init again. I'm not in the whole directory. So I want Terraform init, and I will do Terraform apply. Okay, this one is correct, and I'll do Terraform apply. So Terraform apply will go ahead now and create a new EC2 instance. So let us wait while it creates it. So when this EC2 instance is created, we will now go onto the AWS console and manually change the EC2 instance. We will now come back to our console and run Terraform apply again. Ordinarily, what that would have done is for the Terraform to recreate the EC2 instance based on the information it has in the state file, which we override or which will have override or overridden the um, overwritten the changes that has been done on the console. But because of this block of code that we have added that says ignore changes on instant type, Terraform will not change that manual setting. So that has been created. So let's go to our EC2 instance. Let me refresh. So you can see now that dev server has been created, and the Terraform and the instance type is what? T2 micro. So I'm going to come here now. I'm going to change the instance type from T2 micro to, let's say, T2 small. But you know that before you can change the instance type, or before you can change certain settings of an EC2 machine, you need to first stop the machine. So you will stop it, make the changes, and start again. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the machine. So the machine is in the stopping state. Then when the stop is completed, or when it is stopped, we will go and change the instance type from T2 micro to any other instance type. We will start the machine, then we'll go back to VS Code and run Terraform again, and let us see what what will happen. So let me. So the machine is stopped now, as you can see it. Let me remove it from here. So the machine is stopped. This is it, the dev server. So I'm going to go into it now. Action, instance settings, change instance type, and I'm going to be changing the instance type from T2 micro to T2 small. And I'll go ahead and update it, change it. So the changes have been made now. So I'll go ahead and start the server. I'll start it now. So let's see. Let's see what happens now. So the server is running again. You can see it. The dev server is running again now with T2 small. So I'm going to go back to my VS Code. Okay. And I'm going to run, clear the screen, and I'm going to run Terraform auto apply again. Now, ordinarily, what this command would have done would have been for it to go into the state file. Yeah, there's something we call Terraform state file. Look at it here. Terraform TF state. Now, this state file contains the current state of the infrastructure. So Terraform is supposed to go into this file, confirm whatever it has there, and duplicate that on the console. But because of the ignore changes that we added as a block, it's not going to change. It's just going to leave that configuration with the manual changes. So I'll go ahead now and click enter, and you will agree with me that the T2 micro that is here, which you expect, that is what Terraform will create. Terraform will not create T2 micro. Instead, it's going to leave it as T2 small that I just changed to. Why? Because I have added the what? Ignore changes of instant type. So let's wait and see that. Okay, you can see, look at what it says. Your infrastructure matches the configuration. Terraform has compared your real infrastructure against your configuration and found no difference. So changes is made. 0 resources added, 0 change. So if I go back to my console now and I refresh it, you will see that there is no changes. It is what? T2 small. So this is how to use the ignore changes block. Now the next one we want to look at now is the prevent delete. What is the prevent delete? What does it do? Just from the name, it prevents accidental delete. So in this case, what are we going to do? We are going to create a life cycle. We are going to create S3 bucket, and we are going to prevent that S3 bucket from deletion by using the prevent destroy. So I'll go back to my VS Code. I will clear the screen. Clear the screen. Okay. Then now I will cd into the folder that says, let me minimize this. I will go into the one that says prevent destroy, cd dot destroy. Now I'm there. I will clear it. Since it's a new directory, I will do Terraform init again. And after that, I will go and do Terraform apply to create the S3 bucket. Okay. And don't forget, if you look at the code again, so let me just run Terraform apply. Okay. Now, if you look at, apart from creating the S3 bucket, okay, sorry, that is here, prevent users. Yeah, this is it. So instead of this code is going to create S3 bucket and added a block called prevent destroy equals true. So it will only create the instance, but it will prevent it if you want to destroy it. It will let you know that you cannot destroy this. So the bucket has been created. If I go to my AWS console and I click on S3, you will see that a bucket called dev, I think what's the name? Okay, my secure bucket has been created. You can see it there. This is it, my secure bucket. Now, I will go back to my console, my terminal, and I will try to destroy that bucket. So if I do Terraform destroy, that is, I want to destroy the bucket I just created. Terraform destroy. Now let us see what will happen. I just ran Terraform destroy. Let us see what happens next. Give it a few seconds. Seconds. Let's give it a few more seconds. Yeah, it's going to create the resource. Okay. Now, what do you see from here? Let's go up first. It says it plans to carry out this action to destroy the bucket, and they say this bucket will be destroyed. But what happens next? It says canonical. Sorry, let's go down. Instance cannot be destroyed. And look at it under here. Resource AWS has lifecycle prevent destroy set. Okay, so that is the main thing. There is a plan called lifecycle prevent destroy set that is part of the code. That is why you cannot accidentally delete this command or these resources. So, and the next one, so this is very important or useful when you are protecting sensitive resources such as your database or even S3 bucket that have been used to keep sensitive document, and you want to prevent it from being deleted by accident. Then you can use this block of code. And the last thing I'm going to be looking at is the trigger by replacement. Okay, that is the code. I'm going to clear the screen. Okay, and I'm going to cd into that cd dot into replace. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen again and do Terraform init because it's in the directory. Now, let us see what are we going to be doing here. That is the what place trigger by. So look at it again. It's a force replacement when another change is made. So what are we going to be doing here? This is the code, the same code I have there. And let's look at the instruction. It said create an EC2 instance, modify the group in the file, and apply again. Then Terraform destroy and create the new EC2 instance. Because you have instructed Terraform that for it to make this change, it needs to destroy the old resources and create a new one. So let's go to our VS Code. So we have init now. So I'm going to clear this screen. The next thing is going to be Terraform apply. Let us see. Let us see what happens. So don't forget the port is on um, the port open is already on port 22. So I want to change it to port 80. But let these resources be created first. I'll change to port 80 and I will want to see what happens. Okay. So it's creating the resources now. So in this case, it's creating the security group. That's where it is. Okay, you're going to be seeing it. So it's created now. You can see it. Two resources have been created, and what are the two resources? The if you look at your code, it's creating AWS security group, and it's creating the port. So the EC2 has been created. If you want to check it, you can go ahead and check it on the console. If I go here to EC2, yes, you will see that three servers are running. Look at it, it's already indicated there. Three servers are running. The app server has been added. So I'm going to go to VS Code now, and I'm going to change this port 22 to port 80. I want to change it to port 80. Okay, to port 80. Then I'm going to go to clear the resources, and I'm going to apply again. Now let's see what happens. Just because a change has been made, that change will force Terraform to first destroy the existing one and create a new one with the new settings. That is what that replaced by is all about. Don't forget, don't mix it up with the second one that says, or first one that says create before destroy. No, this is not creating before destroy. This will just destroy the resource and create a new one with the new information. So it's starting now. So if you look at it, tell you what it's going to do. It's going to add one, okay, and it's going to change one, and it's going to destroy one. So you will eventually destroy the whole one that has port 8080. So I'm waiting. Let me zoom in a little bit for you to see. Oh, sorry. I'm not supposed to have that. Let's hope it will not destroy what we have done. Okay, still working. It's still destroying it. You can see it's destroying at the moment, and it's going to create a new one. Okay, I say it's a one to add, one to change, one to destroy. Okay, that's a good one. Give it a little time. So it's going to destroy the whole configuration with port 80, or with the one with port 20 and port 22, and change it to port 80. So you can see it's creating now. You can see the first thing he does was to destroy. Unlike when we added the block that says um, create before deploy. So in this case, there's no such block. That is why you see it destroy first before creating a new one. So the resources is being added, and if you go to your console, you're going to see the equal resources there. Yeah, I tried to um, see if this information can be passed in a very short video. So this is how to use um, all the argument of the Terraform lifecycle. I will implore you to try. Um, just go into the comment section, pull up the repository, clone it, and try to perform some of these action. They are very important and will help you in your grip on DevOps. Um, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have learned one or two things. Please do subscribe, like, and make comment on the video so that anytime we upload a new video, you will get notification, and it will also help me to reach more people who might be interested uh, to learn. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.